everybody.
Pittsburgh, Biz Radio 1020, KDKA.
All right, good morning, everybody. And Lauren Klein is back with us in studio today, and we're so happy. It's Coldwell Banker Murraysville, and she has sold over 100 million, and you could add a few more shekels this year because she has been on a roll. The market has been incredible, and her husband, of course, Chris Klein, behind the controls as we are streaming live now, Pittsburgh Property Diva on Facebook, and yes, Pittsburgh Beautiful as well. That is what he has created that has truly taken the country by storm via social media. We've got a lot to get to today, but I think we should pick up on what you've been up to besides being very busy. Lots of open houses, lots of sales, but if you're thinking of listing, it's still a good time to give you a call at 412-628-8286. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be here. I missed you. I really did.
That's one person that actually missed me.
I'm gonna get my beauty rest on Saturday mornings, but I did miss being here, and I'd love to hear from callers today. If you have any questions, maybe that you've been saving up for a couple weeks, call in, and I'll be happy to answer anything for you, real estate related, that is. But it's been really busy, and interest rates are still under 5, and depending on your credit and how many years you want that loan for, their interest rates are still nice and steady. And if you're in the market to buy, I think the inventory is a little bit light right now, but it'll pick up in the coming months. And for those of you who haven't listed your house yet, but you're thinking about it, call me.
Listen,
happy to come out and talk with you.
Here's what I want to talk to you about real quick. Coldwell Banker.
Yes.
I've told you this before because I love open houses. I love the brand. And speaking of real estate, my longtime friend in the finance aspect of the business, you may both know him, Don Bartolomucci. If you're out there, I think he's back in the Berg for a wedding. I saw a wonderful picture with his little grandson, the ring bearer. So I know he loves real estate. He's probably listening because he always does, even online. So I hope you have a wonderful wedding, and I hope you're doing well. But I've really been baptized in this business and been talking about it for 20 plus years. But Coldwell Banker is someone that I don't know a lot about other than you, and they are now becoming a big part of Beaver County. I just mentioned another listing that I noticed. Tell me about the company Coldwell Banker, in particular your branch in Murraysville, and that brand that people are very familiar with, and a very popular brand at that.
Well, I think it always starts with a good business model and good management, and we have both at Coldwell Banker. Add to that our technology, which I think is state-of-the-art, best in the country, best across the board as far as real estate companies are concerned. And we really do pride ourselves on taking care of our clients, and me especially. This is part of my love of the industry is that I get to take care of people during the biggest decision of their lives. So we take that very seriously. We have great agents all over Western Pennsylvania, and our technology speaks for itself. We sell houses. That's it.
Here's what I love about real estate people. You're very competitive.
We are very competitive.
And I have been to a few of those award dinners. It's like the red carpet, the Academy Awards, the Emmys, the Grammys, all rolled up into one.
Yeah.
And they hold on to every award with both hands because they know what it takes to get someone's trust, to do the legwork, to get out there, pound the pavement, and make it happen. This is something, and it's always a good time to talk careers too, but if you're thinking of a career in this is something you have to be passionate about.
You really do. You have to love it, and you have to take it as seriously as your clients do. That's the most important thing, and you're right. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background, and business doesn't fall out of the sky. You have to earn it, and you have to be trustworthy and take care of people the way they need to be taken care of. And everybody is different. Different people want different things in a different way, so you have to meet them where they are. And I think that's one of the things that I'm pretty good at.
You're very good at it.
Thank you.
And your husband is very good at what he does too, especially social media wise. Finance for a number of years, still doing it in the real estate business, but he is a whiz when it comes to this type of stuff. So if you want to plug into what he's doing, Pittsburgh Beautiful, or you can go to Pittsburgh Property Diva right now as we are streaming live on Facebook. She's back in the air chair. We'd love to hear from you today. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. 866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, kdkradio.com, or you can text us on the Right Automotive line, the best deal in town. So here it is, middle of summer, and you're staying now still a good time to list. Explain why that is.
I have gone on so many listing appointments in July, and now some people aren't ready, but what they're in is that preparation phase where they really want to get prepared and have a less stressful time once they hit the market. The earlier that I get a chance to be in front of people and go through the house with them and say, let's do this, let's do that, let's paint this, let's put this away, they can take their time, they can do it right and do what's needed instead of things that aren't needed, and be ready for when they are ready to hit the market. So take your time sometimes is, the best advice. But lots of listing appointments this month. I had a closing yesterday on a house in Bloomfield that went really well. And
by the way, Little Italy days are coming to Bloomfield in about a month, so be there.
I know Rick will be there.
Oh yeah, DeCarlo.
Yeah.
He's the official ambassador.
I know.
Of,
I know.
Little Italy days.
So I see a lot of really, really nice activity in and around the city and out to the suburbs. Pittsburgh's a great place to live.
Rick DiCarlo, for those of you who are wondering, he happens to be the wonderful sales exec here at Intercom, KDK Radio, that makes this show happen, and we're so grateful for that. So let's get a break in here, and we're going to come back, and hopefully if you have a question, you'll call in now. There's a lot to talk about, and this is the time of year that a lot of folks are having those garage sales, cleaning everything out.
My favorite.
I know, me too.
I love garage sales.
That's right. Just take it all. Make an offer and take it all. 866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, kdkradio.com, or you can even text us on the Right Automotive line, the best deal in town. Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Property Diva on KDKA Radio.
great internet interaction.
But you know what it comes down to doing what you do? You just got to work it.
You do. You have to work every day. And I think a lot of people think this is a real easy business to get into.
Ready? Live?
Oh, well, I think getting the license is easy.
Stand by, guys.
Working is hard.
All right, we are back live. Live we are, right here on KDK Radio and streaming live on Facebook, Pittsburgh Property Diva. Of course, Lauren Klein in studio with us today. 866-391-1020 or Dollar Bank Instant Access, kdkradio.com, or you can text us on the Right Automotive line. Mark Coulter, Coulter Law Offices next hour. Estate planning is what we're going to be discussing, 10 o'clock hour. It's Andy Amrine and John Schmutzer, Metropolitan Windows. 11 o'clock hour, Tracy Edwards, and then Dr. Vactor is back in the noon hour today. This is a time of year that I've often wondered, the real estate business, because you hear spring market, and now spring market pretty much is not all the way behind us, but pretty much so. Fall, people starting to think about, wrapping up vacations, kids going off to school, back to school, your whole lifestyle changes, we don't have as much daylight, and you kind of nest a little bit more than you normally do, and then you kind of batten down the hatches for winter. But what was traditionally that real estate calendar year is not that way anymore, and a lot of it has to do with the technology. So pretty much you can say a spring market, but for the most part, real estate goes on 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
You're right. It never ends. And this summer has surprised me with the amount of activity. Usually it really kind of slows down. Listings and sales, and we're closing things that we sold in the spring and trying to get people settled into their new houses. But I am seeing a lot of activity that I don't know any of us were expecting, but we're all delighted for it. It's wonderful. And
what are you selling right now? All sorts of things?
All sorts of things. I have, I just listed, good morning, Rosemary. I put this really cool house on the market on Thursday it's in Penn Trafford School District, 4 acres, stream, pond.
Nice.
Big 6-bedroom house. And we put it on Thursday morning. We had showings on Thursday. We had showings yesterday. I got an offer last night. It's amazing to me how much activity that I've seen over the last couple weeks when things are usually a little bit more quiet. So nobody's complaining. It's wonderful. But I think we have more people coming into the area for different reasons. People moving from one house to another, which never changes. They want to stay in the same school district. They just want a bigger house, a different house. So,
well, see, as much as we talk about city living, we mentioned Bloomfield.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked before about downtown Pittsburgh within the city proper. Also, places like Lawrenceville. People still want to stretch their legs and get out, and if they can buy some acreage, and like this house you were talking about, Penn Trafford's a great school district too. And also, this is the time of year where people realize that if they want to get their kids in school by the start or a few weeks into the year, they got to start really
well, you're
looking.
A little behind for that now, because you're really going to kind of jam yourself up if you're looking to close and get your kids settled.
You're looking
for
like
school.
3 months usually?
Yeah, those people who want to move and get settled over the summer, that's our spring market. That's the March, April, May, and they're closing in July or June, so that they have time to get everything organized, get their kids settled in school and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm seeing just people getting married. They get engaged. They want to go look at houses. There are all sorts of reasons to buy and sell. And you mentioned Mark Coulter's here next hour. I like Mark an awful lot. He's a great guy. He lives in my neighborhood. Our kids all went to Gateway, and estate planning, it happens, and then we have to sell houses. So all different reasons for people to sell.
And let me ask you, when you are in the midst of selling a house in an estate situation,
Mm-hmm.
this is and by the way, interest rate's still around 5%, so things are good right now.
And lower, just depending on your credit score.
But here's the thing, you have to get someone that you can work with long distance at times in this aspect.
Absolutely.
So is it any different than if you're going to be up close and personal on a regular basis?
No, because the communication still has to be fluid. It's the lines of communication still have to be open. Your clients still want updates, whether they're down the street or in Florida or in Texas. They all have the same concerns, and they want to hear from you, and they want to know what's going on, and am I getting any showings, and do I have any offers, and is there anything wrong with the house? All those kinds of
How
things.
do you back people down off the ledge when they're not getting showings? Especially when it's an estate situation, because they don't really understand the market, especially if they haven't lived here for a
Well,
while.
right, and if we're not getting showings, and this is with any house, if you're overpriced, you may get a couple showings out of the gate, but then things will slow down and you're not getting any offers. You know you're not positioned right as far as pricing. Location, price, and condition are the three things that drive the real estate market. So if the condition is so-so and the location is great, then you might have some flexibility. But if your house is sitting and sitting and sitting, there's something that needs to be adjusted, whether it's new pictures, a new description, or a price reduction. Nobody likes to hear that, but sometimes that's just the reality of it. So all sorts of things come into play. And, if there's a big repair that needs to be done and nobody wants to tackle it, and then you're, kind of going back and forth about that. So,
Does it usually, Lauren Klein, by the way, 412-628-8286 to reach her directly, PittsburghPropertyDiva.com. And if you have a question for us, now would be a great time to call in. John Flavin producing the program today. Brock Schneider is off. All of our lines are open, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, or you can text us on the Red Automotive line. Does it usually come down to price when people aren't looking?
well, no, I think again, we're location, condition, and
Okay.
price have to line up with somebody's heart too. They have to fall in love with the house. They have to be able to see themselves there, having parties and going to bed and waking up and driving to work. And
Is it love at first sight more times than not?
yes,
Is it?
yeah, I think so. That's probably one of my most favorite things is when we walk into a house after
And
maybe
their eyes are
seeing
sparkling
half
and-
a dozen, and this is the one.
Right.
Yes, I love that.
And it's kind of like, you go ahead without me. I'll be right here if you need me.
Right.
And you talk amongst yourselves,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. That's my favorite part.
It is. And, especially when it really lives up to everything they expected it to
Yes.
be. And then you find out years later, thank you, Lauren, for selling us that house. It was everything you said it was and more.
Yes. And then I like when they come back to me
Yeah.
after they've had babies and more dogs and they need a bigger house, and I get to sell that one and buy them a new one.
Now, I want to talk to you about also, too, as far as the eastern part of Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
That's something you know a little bit more than most. Tell me about that part of Pittsburgh. What do you like about it? Because you've got the old with the new, but it really is old world traditional Pittsburgh that has some of the most incredible architectural design of homes anywhere and around the city.
You're absolutely right. And every time I drive, like, through Squirrel Hill and to Shady Side and
The
Regent
best parts of Pittsburgh.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, Regent Square, Edgewood. You get to see so many different kinds of architecture. There's so much to choose from, but the prices are high, so it's not affordable for everybody. But those houses are,
The people have worked very hard to get there.
yes,
And they appreciate what they
they're
have.
massive and unique and charming all at the same time. So
Have you ever listed, I'm sure you have, and I'm sure Chris has been there with you, it's got the wow factor where you walked in and you're kind of going through it by yourself the first time, and you're like, Chris,
I would live here.
I mean, just the mahogany and the detail and,
Yeah.
and just everything that went into the love and the labor of making that house and what has always been a special part of Pittsburgh. That's got to be a real treat.
It really is, and there's so many different styles, and everybody has a different taste. So it's kind of lining up, not kind of, it is what I do. I line up your budget with what you want to love and where you want to love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we try to mix those things together best as we can so that you get most of what you want. And a lot of it depends on the budget. I have a really cool house right now listed in Shady Side on Lehigh that has a 2-car detached garage, a big backyard, big patio, and it's kind of Victorian style. So different strokes for different folks.
Listen, when it comes to if you're downsizing, sometimes you can downsize too much, and if you have a bigger home, I don't think it's a good idea to drastically go from 4 bedrooms to 1. You got to have
That's really tough.
You got to have some living space. So when we come back after the break, I want to
Okay.
kind of pick up on that a little bit, because there are people making the transition. You know, more people are downsizing in this great community than upsizing because of the older population. Even though you've got some millennials doing things and people moving in, I think that's going to be the wave of the future. But right now, it still kind of is a Generation X, Y, Z, and baby boomers market. Now listen, if you want to call her directly, 412-628-8286, 412-628-8286, PittsburghPropertyDiva.com. Lauren Klein, they're streaming live on Facebook. Meantime, if you want to join us on the radio show today, you can call 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, and you can text us on the right automotive line. John Flavin in producing today for Brock Schneider. Now, next hour, Mark Coulter, Coulter Law Office is EstatePlanningCenters.com to find out more about what they do. We're going to be talking probate and more. In the 10 o'clock hour, the guys from True Value, just Andy Amrine today, because John Schmutzer, Metropolitan Window, will be joining him. And then Tracy Edwards, AAA Central Talking Travel. And then DR Vactor comes back in the noon hour. So lots more still to come today with you and me on KDK Radio. Good morning.
Target?
No.
I'm not kidding.
Thanks for the plug, brother.
You're welcome, man.
I started it.
I know.
You're welcome.
Forget it. It's gone.
What?
Nothing. I get it.
What do you- our dog Spike, our two Bostons, they don't care about fireworks or anything else. They are just, very relaxed dogs. Spike, our rescue, oh my God, all he did was pace and walk around and pant. It breaks my heart.
Who'd you sell a house for in Bluefield?
It was a foreclosure actually. I sold it for $240,000 on West Penn Place. I have two clients. One's from Chicago and one's from Pittsburgh. Sisters.
You don't know whose house it was? Property.
Yep.
Is that a bad deal?
If you have it.
I
That's
thought
a
that
lot of
place,
money.
That place didn't make money, huh?
I don't know if he. I don't know if he made money, Rob, or if,
How long
if he
did he
just
own
got.
it?
I was just going to say probably 30 years.
Because when I lived there, I went there all the time. I mean, I bet he made money, but Trump says he'll talk.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, I think it all needs rehab. So if you're paying $900 for it and you're putting $500 in to rehab it, that's a big
Nice if
investment.
you could buy that whole spot. Because somebody bought Dell's too. I heard somebody bought Dell's.
Oh, did they?
The sale sign's gone.
Oh.
Dell's? Well, Dell's was, you're on live. Say hi. It's Rick
Hello,
DiCarlo.
Woohoo!
Dell's was sold to a barbecue joint.
And they closed down too.
Oh, I didn't know they closed already.
Yeah. It was the guy that bought it was Sammy, the guy that owned Sammy's Corned Beef.
Oh, what?
Sammy's corned beef.
It's terrible. I watch too much ID channel.
My children.
Post your address. And we'll mail one to you.
Is it a refrigerator one?
Yeah,
Nothing
they're
better.
real nice. Pitt, Penn State, and Steelers, all in one.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, are you a huge sports fan, Chris?
Me? Yeah, I'm a big sports fan.
Are you?
Yeah, but I'm more of, not being originally from Pittsburgh. I grew up an Orioles fan, a Redskins fan, but it's been so fruitless. Living here for the last, almost 30 years. I
Now it looks
enjoy
like they're going to get rid of Manny Machado.
two big mistakes they made. Signing Chris Davis to that long-term contract because he's a strikeout machine.
He could really hit a home run though.
Yeah. Every time she watches, when we watch the Orioles,
He
Chris
hits a
Davis,
home
like I
run.
say, it's her boyfriend. Every time she
He
turns
said,
on the
"Oh, your
TV,
boyfriend's on. Your boyfriend's on."
he crushes me, But it's anyway. And yeah, Machado, homegrown. They really don't have a choice because he's not going to re-sign with them anyway. And their GM, the guy put together the Red Sox team that eventually won the World Series. He doesn't know how to sign a pitcher. So don't get me started.
Oh, please
I tell you
don't,
what, though,
Rob.
but I think
Please
the Redskins,
don't.
there may be some hope this year. You don't think?
The owner is the problem with the Redskins until they get a new owner.
Here we go, guys. Fan of both of those franchises, though.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to Pittsburgh Property Diva Lauren Klein, and they are streaming live on Facebook as well, too, Pittsburgh Property Diva. I want to talk about downsizing. We discussed that going into the break.
Yeah.
A call in May next hour representing Cultural Law Office. We're going to be talking to State Planning, statesplanningscenters.com. People making that big jump. I mean, you want to downsize, you're thinking your life's going to change, but you don't really want to change it too drastically. So how do you find a happy medium? This is where you have to obviously have great communication with your real estate agent.
Yes, and what you do and when you downsize, again, a lot of it depends on your budget. And do you want to be in like a condo, for example, where somebody else takes care of the rest of the building, you take care of your unit, you have a little bit of storage space, but you're paying monthly condo fees.
Right.
Okay, and depending on where you are in the city, they can be pretty high. They do cover things like your water and your garbage and your gas if the building has gas. You're paying your own electric in most cases, and of course your cable, but you really want to pay attention to your budget, because if you are downsizing, you may have other plans for yourself. Maybe you want to spend half the year in Florida and half the year here in Pittsburgh. Do you want a ranch? Do you want, a condo? Do you want to be in a planned community or out in the country?
Or what about just getting a little one-level ranch home somewhere? And believe it or not, ranch homes are a commodity right
Ranch
now.
homes are the good ones fly off the market because people love ranches.
Yeah.
I had clients earlier this year who had a big, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath house and an in-ground pool, and they told me they wanted to downsize. Well, we bought an even bigger house. Only it was a ranch. It's huge, and a pool, but they have 7 children, and they're all married, and they all have kids, and
You need it.
they need it. So they couldn't move into a 3-bedroom ranch and be able to have all their kids over and their grandkids. So we actually downsized to a bigger house. It really it just depends on what you can afford and where you want to be.
Listen, you youngins, you and your husband, you don't understand what it was like being a baby boomer, growing up in a house where dads loved sardines because they jammed us into bedrooms like sardines. You know, bunk beds 4 high.
I was lucky. I only had one brother.
1 bathroom.
We did all share a bathroom, a one full bathroom, and you had to go in and take your shower and get out. There was no putzing around in the bathroom.
Listen,
somebody was banging on a door.
When I go way back to my real youth, like, adolescent under 10, it was like, that bathwater's fine, use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here's the thing, too. One thing you have to admit, how you and your husband have seen this business evolve, and you're both still very young, but majority of just about everybody today, the amenities that these houses give them today, because even if they're not new home construction, they've been renovated and
Right.
revamped and rebooted. People are like the shower in the basement, the second and third bathroom, 2 working stoves.
We're spoiled.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I mean,
we're
deck,
spoiled.
patio, pool, double garage,
Yes.
integral garage. I mean, it really has gotten a whole lot better for people.
Yes, and HGTV, which I do not watch, is a big part of that because people, they watch it and they don't realize it's not local. It's in Canada. Everything's different in Canada. And the real estate transactions don't
ladies and
happen
gentlemen,
overnight.
I'm looking
in
squarely.
2 hours.
I'm looking squarely into the camera here for the social media audience. I just lost Lauren Klein there, ladies and gentlemen. So at 8:39 on this Saturday, July 14th, I lost Lauren Klein. It was kind of like they have landed. What now? What were you? What, I gotta ask, because the people in the audience were like, she went from I don't watch HDD because it's gonna come from Canada. What is that?
No, it's that the show is based in Canada. What is so funny?
No,
honestly.
we'll explain it to you during the break. But I know what you mean. But I thought you'd want one more time to reboot it.
Rob,
Go ahead.
Everything with Lauren is Canada. If she doesn't understand it, no offense to any of our Canadian friends who are listening.
I love Canada.
Of course
When
you do.
talk to them.
Toronto, great city.
Yes.
But if she doesn't understand something, they're all from Canada.
By the way, there's 2 Royal Mountie police right now in the parking lot, ladies and gentlemen.
For Terry.
Dudley Do Right with her
I
hat.
honestly don't know what was so funny about that.
But it was
Whatever.
funny. It was very funny. And it was a nice little bit, and you done good.
Anyway, when you watch those shows,
Right.
they make it look so easy and so seamless and so, and everything in the house is so perfect. Then it raises the expectation of the regular consumer. So
Here's what I have to ask you, because you're such a pet lover, okay? Honest to goodness, Dr. Doolittle has nothing on you.
nothing on me.
In fact, when he wants to know what that dog's saying, he said, get me Lauren Klein on the phone. This is something that somebody just asked me the other day. A dear friend, she's looking to move. She has multiple dogs. And she wants to buy, she wants to rent. But she said every time she makes a call, there is an issue when it comes to pets. Are landlords, for the most part, this is just my thought process, not pet friendly?
Well,
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I guess they are, because pets, if they're not trained, and Chris will tell you, he used to own rental property. He had a lady with a dog just dig up the entire floor and the baseboards of the apartment. So, unless you have really well behaved dogs and you're willing to put down a sizable security deposit in case anything is damaged, most landlords don't want to be bothered. They don't.
Okay.
But when you move into a house, now there are some condos that I sell quite a bit in Oakland, no pets. There's just no pets. And others have pet restrictions, like the dog can only be so tall, it can only weigh so much, it can't be this breed or that breed. So you have to be careful, and if you want a single family home, then you can have 10 dogs if you want.
And another thing that people don't realize when they're trying to rent, okay, because there are people like me that
Yes.
just want to rent. They think that they have to go in the classifieds, but you can actually call Coldwell Banker and say, look, I'm looking to
We
rent.
do have a rental
Right.
division, and there are agents who specialize in listing rental properties and renting the properties and doing all the applications and the leases and all that kind of stuff. So yes, absolutely. You can call any Coldwell Banker and they'll get you to a rental agent if you need one.
If you have a question, you want to call her directly, and she will return the call, 412-628-8286. Now, we're going to come back, go to Delmont, and talk to Kathy. Mom's selling house. She's going to give her some information that she needs to know to help get that done. So stay with us. This is the Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Klein, on KDK Radio. Good morning. Son.
Okay.
And Mark became like his surrogate dad.
Oh.
And he helped him get through law school, and now he's going to probably take over his practice someday. It's a really good...
That's
Mark
wonderful.
Coulter is a... I don't know him, but what I have seen of him, he's a very gentle, caring...
Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
You know what I mean?
He has a very nice reputation.
Hey, Rob, where you need this headset?
I think Chris needs it because we have somebody calling in, so he'll put it, like, I don't know, on something.
Sounds good.
Did you know Johnny?
No, we just met this
Okay,
morning.
you know Lauren. That's John Flavin.
Nice
from
to meet you.
Carnegie, I think.
From
Right
Carnegie?
down the street.
Okay, you don't need to buy a house, do
You
you?
know what he does?
No,
His
not
dad,
yet.
they have a landscaping company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
That's
yet.
hard work.
It is
Us
hard. Well, look
millennials
at him.
buying houses, I don't know.
Nah.
Perfect young
I
man.
see you all the
I
time.
got a real kick out of that commercial. It said it was like the Alabama AA baseball, and they're having a promotion, and they got in a little bit of trouble where they said they're having a millennial promotion, and they invited millennials to the ballpark because they want to get something for free for not doing much at all. I thought it was so funny.
Here's Dan Hoey. This offer is limited, so call 844-RHINO-88. 844
You gotta be tired, though. It's been a rough couple months.
Actually, June, I really took, no, not right, not yet.
Take some with you.
There's a lot of donuts out there. I haven't had a candy bar since June. I'd like everybody to know that.
Has it really been?
Yes, I have not had a candy bar since June, and it was a whatchamacallit. And
Here we go, guys.
And let's do it.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh
You're
work.
one of those
This
people, honey.
is Pittsburgh
One of the
Works,
That
the
make people
voice
work.
of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh work.
KDKA.
These are the people.
All right, we are back, and we are also streaming live. Pittsburgh Property Diva on Facebook. He is the guy behind Pittsburgh Beautiful. Chris Klein, her husband, handling those controls, and she's here talking real estate. And right now, the president will have details meeting with Queen Elizabeth II. How do you think you would list Windsor Castle?
oh, jeez,
Spacious rooms.
I'm more worried about the fashion over there.
I know.
See what the princesses
She
are
looks
wearing.
incredible today. Nice
They're gorgeous.
pillbox hat, all deep blue, looking spectacular. The
Absolutely
Queen.
gorgeous. That's what I focus on, Rob. I'm shallow.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And you got a guy who knows a little bit about real estate in the Oval Office,
Yes.
so that's right up your alley. It's a good thing. All right, now I want to kind of just wrap up on some of the things we've talked about today and moving forward and some trends. We're going to get to all of that, but as promised, let's take care of this caller who's been very patient. It is Kathy in Delmont, and she is dealing with something we're all going to deal with, mom selling house. So Kathy, welcome to the Pittsburgh Property Diva. You're on KDKA Radio. Good morning.
Morning, Kathy.
I love your show. I absolutely love this show. I look forward to it every Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you.
I absolutely love your show. I love hearing everything you have to say. So, helping my mom sell her house, I just like to know the wording and multi-list.
Uh-huh.
Meadowview, and it's an Apollo area code, but it's Washington Township, and it's very far from Apollo.
Okay.
When people search in the multi-list, and it's 2 words, or if it's a different area code, not area code, zip code, how does that work, like, in terms of the realtor searching or people finding it? And can regular people look in the multi-list?
Regular people can't get into the multi-list, but what they can do is contact an agent and get opened up in the portal, which is what we use to send properties to our clients. So if there is a buyer who is looking for a house like your mom's, they're going to search in either by school district or town and then price. So if your agent is marketing the property, it's going to be up to the buyer to find it in that particular area where they want to be. So is the property currently on the market? Okay, and it has a zip code.
Yeah.
But what you're telling me is it's Washington Township in Apollo.
Well, the address is Apollo, PA,
Uh-huh.
and then the house is Washington Township, which is part of Apollo.
Okay.
So how good is it? I think it's Washington Township is bigger, and Apollo is a small town in Washington Township.
Uh-huh.
There's other towns in Washington Township. But is it confusing when someone says Apollo? Okay, so her zip code's Apollo, but she doesn't live in Apollo.
What's
You
the
know how
school
we're
district?
dividing the 2 zip codes?
Yes, we in Murraysville. There's like the Delmont, the Export, and the 15668 Murraysville. So what we do is search by school district. If I want to capture all of those little towns and those zip codes in one school district, and that's what a lot of people do.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so not to worry, and there's always people out looking for houses in different areas all the time. So you just keep an eye out, and if you have questions, you let me know.
Okay, I will definitely, because I know you're close up.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're
I'll be
welcome.
listening. Thank
Have
you
a
very
good
much.
day. My pleasure.
You see what you're doing, though? You're helping people in some very difficult decisions, kind of like Colin May is going to be doing next hour with estate planning from Culture Law.
Oh, yes.
These are perplexing situations that people are dealing with, and mind-numbing. I mean, you're sitting there on a Saturday with a cup of coffee going, I got to breathe. I got things I have to do. How do I get this done? And you're that little glimmer of hope, and that's a good thing.
Well, thank you. I like to help people, and I always am happy to help. And when you're in a situation like that, and I come across it all the time, there are a lot of little towns in certain areas that all go to the same school district. So sometimes it's easier for me if somebody says, I really like such and such a school district. I'll just search the houses by school district instead of by town. And then I might miss something.
See, I've often wondered about that whole school district, because I'm a fan of public education. Your dad taught. I think all these teachers do incredible well.
They do.
And I think every school district has its pluses and minuses,
Just like everything.
every neighborhood. But why do you think this is such a barometer? Why do you think it drives real estate sales so much?
Well, don't forget the school taxes.
Yes. Well.
Okay.
Right.
So if the school taxes are really high and budget prohibitive for people, they're going to look for some place that's a little bit more affordable. other people, the school district is very important. Some people like city schools. Some people like to send their kids to private schools. So again, this is such an individualized business when it comes to narrowing down what people want and where they want it and what they can afford. So I try to work with all of that information to get you the best house in the best area in the best condition as fast as I can.
All right, 412-628-8286. Been an amazing hour. She'll be back in 1 month with us again on Saturdays. And then coming up in September, you're joining us 2 Saturdays out of the month. Listen, before you go, though, we've got about 3 minutes left in the broadcast. Just an overview, and especially one of the things that we do this show about regularly on a basis is the topic of listing, helping people that are about ready to sell. Because let's face it, you're getting rid of that beloved home, you're making a transition, you're uprooting your family, so you need as much help as you can get. Whether it's the first time or your 5th time or beyond, you need help. So kind of take us through that, okay?
Well, I think one of the main things is when you are thinking about selling and ready to list your house or in the next 6 months, you do want to talk with some agents that specialize in what you're looking for. And the other thing I want to touch on, and I'm going to bring Chris in because he is my photography drone Matterport expert, and you know, Rob, that we use.
You should say he operates a drone.
He does. He operates.
We don't want to think you're a drone now. You know what I mean?
But professional photos and our marketing is
incredible. He's the best.
Really what makes our listings shine and sell. So, Chris, how important are professional photos and the other technology that you do?
Well, first, I think the photos are the first thing that somebody sees when they go online, because I bet it's darn close to 100% of the houses that are found that people want to look at.
They start online.
Right. So your photos and we even take the drone and all the other bells and whistles that I think are important, but your photos are the most important thing.
Right. I always say that professional photos, good lighting, good angles, somebody who knows what they're doing makes all the difference in the world when you're getting ready to list your house.
Yeah. I mean, it's if you've got somebody walking in taking pictures of your house with an iPhone, I hate to say it, but you've chosen the wrong real estate agent. Because I mean that might have been good. I mean, for real, 10, 15 years ago, that
we're
was
very
like
tech
cool to do,
savvy,
but
and it does work.
Right, it does work. So the photos are the first thing somebody sees. They make a snap decision right away. We live in a visual world. For drone photography or drone videography, it gives somebody the ability to see the property from a bird's eye view. I mean, a lot of times it adds a little bit of drama to viewing the property, which is nice. But really, what it's for is looking at it from a bird's eye view, so you get a sense of what your yard looks like, how large the property is. I just droned a property for Lauren a couple days ago. Where was that? Out
in Penn Township.
It was close to Jeanette.
Yeah,
Penn Township. 4 acres, 2 ponds. Older farmhouse, but really nice property. And looking at pictures online, this is one where looking at pictures online and driving by the property, you would not get a sense of
how big it is.
So the drone gives you that.
Yeah, and the same with my listing on Beach Road that you did.
14 acres.
Yeah, 15 acres, log cabin. Super cool house.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get a real good sense of your property. And the 3D tours, the Matterport technology, that's kind of new on the scene, but that allows a prospective buyer to actually walk through the house
with their finger,
on the screen, guide themselves through it, take their own time, and they can get a sense of the property before they go see.
Listen,
thank you.
It was a joy seeing both of you two.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you so much.
Please come back again. Gone. Sold, ladies and gentlemen.
I love when Rob twirls his finger. That means you got to hurry up, Chris.
That's right. Well, that's okay. I mean, I understand. He's got places to go, people to meet. All right, listen, I want to remind everybody once again, 412-628-8286 is the number that will get you directly in touch with Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Beautiful, or of course, Pittsburgh Property Diva on social media via Facebook. Going to love what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. We are far from done. After we get the latest, President over in Europe meeting with Queen Elizabeth II from CBS Radio News, we roll on. Coulter Law Offices, it's estate planning, and Colin May. Good morning.
The preceding was
Thank you,
paid
Rob.
for by
Guys,
Purple-
thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, everybody, honey.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.